Hey there, my name's Justin, and today I'm going to announce the concept of winning the school games, but winning it all 10 slots. So, literally, how can we go about winning the school games, and how can we do it 10 times in a row? Because if I can build a duplicatable model, how amazing would that be? And if I can share that model with other people and help take content creators and bring their content into Skool and help them monetize, to help people who've never created content before monetize, and to on autopilot to generate as many schools as we wish, especially as AI gets smarter and smarter. That's going to be really interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here, and let's talk about how we're going to 10x the school games. So let me go ahead and bring this over. And you can see I'm in the Vivaldi web browser. You'll see how awesome that is for multitasking here in just a little bit. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I'll bring my camera down a little bit too. So here you can see I have set up a school called Preschool, which is all about loving school and winning the games. Ultimately, once we have a credit card, we can really get to work. And nothing is stopping us at that point from software subscriptions, getting help we need, and so on. Maybe we need the credit card, maybe we don't. Ultimately, I'm going to get this thing going, but the idea of having a card is just a cool concept. So we're going to win the school games, we're going to get ourselves a card that we can use to cover whatever we need. We're going to load that card up with the money that we generate from Skool and so on, and go from there. We're going to figure out what types of classes do we need in order to autonomously grow our new schools, either autonomously or manually, depending on who's creating the content and what the plan is. We've got what type of team are we going to need in order to autonomously grow new schools. So if you remember DAOs, DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, those were popular when NFT were kind of growing in fame. But the problem with NFTs were, well, all kinds of problems. And the problem with DAOs were that the software and technology to run a decentralized, autonomous community organization wasn't quite there yet. But we're getting closer. And with a school, we can often, as needed, offer shared revenue or shared equity to other people who are helping to run the schools that you launch. So that's going to be an interesting thing. So generating a team and either being able to pay them, to be able to reward them as on the leaderboard and in other ways, to be able to help them to promote, or even to be able to offer equity, royalties, rev shares, and so on. So there's some cool opportunities there. Up next, I've got what type of events do I need to autonomously grow new schools? So we know that we have the calendar, we have live events that we can plan. How do we go about this? And then ultimately, the whole purpose of this plan, well, not the whole purpose, I would say probably the side benefit of this plan really is what type of accountants are we going to need in order to autonomously handle all of the money that we're going to generate, right? If we can win the school games and win the top 10 slots for schools, well, that's probably close to 100 grand MRR, 100 grand monthly revenue per school. That's what, $1.2 million, I think? Or excuse me, $10.2 million. Even better. I like those types of mistakes where you find out it's actually better. All right, so this is one of the schools I set up. This is the Preschool School. Kind of a cool name. I don't know if it'll stick. Might change it later. Who knows? But if I go to the classroom and bring that back, you can see I created a start here, learn how to navigate our school. We have a school launcher for COOs, the fast track. Membership acquisitions and income machine. What is this? This is the affiliate income generator. We have event coordination system, a slot for ever-growing library, and then we have Auto School. And Auto School is really cool. You'll also learn things about like how to learn the Notion School OS, learning about high level, whether it's the high level School OS that the gentleman on Skool built or a different snapshot that we build, GrowthWorks School OS, and so on. So lots of cool stuff there. Click on the calendar. Let's see if I've put anything there yet. Hey, look at this. I've already got things on the calendar. I like this view right here. So it looks like the plan would be to have things like morning coffee sprints, preschool podcast, Q&A with Skool game finalists. That'd be cool to get to talk to other people who have won the Skool games and learn how they did it. And then these are recurring. So another podcast, Thursday night happy hour, Saturday morning cartoons. I guess that goes with the theme that I put here. Very interesting. So here you can see we've kind of auto-populated some lesson content or some live content. We've added in some classroom stuff. And so this has actually started, right? So there's a hypothesis that I started with, a 14-day autocomplete challenge. And something that happened is that I realized because I'm a multipreneur, somebody who likes to create lots of online projects, businesses, and so on, I like to switch back and forth almost as if I have these different notebooks or workflows for different businesses that I'm working on, whether it's client businesses or my own. So what I realized is that Skool.com is like having a lot of notebooks. Some of the classes here are classes that I teach, and some of them are classes that I learn. But the ability to jump back and forth between the Imagine OS notebook and fill in a lesson that I came up with, and then come to the preschool notebook and fill in that lesson, and then go to the Notion Depot notebook and fill in that lesson, and maybe go to Skills to Awaken and set up an event, and so on. Like, I have this ability to hot swap between different schools that I'm an admin of, or hot swap between different schools that I'm learning in. And so this concept of using Skool like a backpack full of notebooks, kind of interesting. So here you can see I generated my hypothesis in, what is this called? Storytribe.app, or storytribeapp.com, I should say. So we have hi, and the hypothesis is that you and I can build a formula that launches new schools in 14 days or less. Okay, this person's saying, I bet these new schools can auto-grow with or without us being actively involved beyond the initial ideation stage. So ultimately, right now I'm ideating, but is it possible that this preschool plan or this preschool school can be taken over by other people who can really manage and do the podcast and do the events and lead co-working and create more content and so on? Maybe I'm not even needed after this video. We'll see. So if we have 14 days, which is based on the free 14-day free trial in Skool, which there's probably a link to that below. If we have 14 days to reach profitability and autonomy, perhaps we can make a 14-step automation. And this goes back into that idea of each of the different schools I'm building is like having a notebook in my backpack. This little chef here is saying, I'll set up a Notion so you guys can do the ideation there, then we can automate the rest. Okay, I'm going to show you that in a minute. That's pretty cool. And then basically the computer is saying, hey, I'm a computer. I have internet connection. I have AI superpowers, so I can do all the team building, outreach videos, customer engagement, event scheduling, graphics, lessons, payrolls, and more. I'll start building you a duplicatable automation now, and you can be hands-on or hands-off as you'd like. If there's something you don't want to do, I can recruit someone or get AI to do it. So I think in 2024.5 is basically where we're at, 2024 and a half, 2024 actually coming in the end of June, almost on July, almost 0.7, or almost, not 0.7, but month number 7. Pretty cool. So let's zoom out of that. You can see here that that is our hypothesis, and a little sneak peek if I click here. Let's go ahead and widen that out. And I'll hit escape. And you can see here that let's win the Skool games 10x is now in progress. Not yet a free trial, so let's say pending, and I will say it's by. Right now it's by me. And what else can I put in? I think that's fine for now. What I do want to say is what the tag is, so I'm going to organize this better. I'll figure that out later. Doesn't matter. So now if I go to communities, you can see here that I have this system that I built in Notion, and these are all the different communities that I'm either an owner of or co-owner, maybe communities that I'm a member of and I have to sync this up, communities I haven't joined but I want to join, and then communities that are either in a partnership or that are customers or potential customers of mine. So for instance, today I had a new potential customer come through, so I can go here, create new, and put in their name, or the name of their school, which in this case, let me check, it is fundedyouth.org. And there's also Lasercraft, but I think we'll probably stick with Funded Youth. I'm going to put this in pending for now, and customer partner. So that'll go there. And one thing that's really cool is this will auto-generate things like thumbnails and whatever style. And if all I did was put that in, I could actually set up the system to auto-generate everything, set up the school, do it all. You'll see later. It's going to be cool as we develop this further. But basically, I'm going to go ahead and do side-by-side now with Skool on the right and this Notion Auto School automation on the left. And you'll see what I did. And I actually built this whole program out. So if I go to Classroom here and go to Auto School, you'll actually see the process that I went through. So here's creating Auto School. And here's a 45-minute starting Loom video of how I started to build this. Then here's how I started looking at the AI production system and how I started fixing things in Notion and all this stuff. This is very technical. You don't need to watch this or do it because I already built it, and chances are I'll probably be sharing this with you. But if you wanted to learn Notion, if you wanted to learn how to build Auto School, or if you wanted to learn how it's set up so that you can add to it, this is where you would find that. I also have, I'm keeping track of different YouTubers and different people's content that I'm learning from, right? So free content on YouTube, such as Max's content. He's awesome. I believe I have a link to his school here. And I'm taking notes, and I'm putting that in the school as well inside this class. So anyways, that's where I would find that. So you'll see if I click on communities, that's where this list right here of all the communities I'm in school, whether they're mine or classes I'm taking, well, I can keep that in sync in this database here. And something to note is that every database is basically just a spreadsheet, right? So here it all is in spreadsheet form on the left, right? There's all the thumbnail images. When you start to realize that all the data on the internet is just really spreadsheets and then in UIs with design systems, and when you push a button, a recipe happens or an algorithm happens, that's all that's happening. The whole thing is just databases, interfaces, and algorithms. Databases being like spreadsheets, interfaces being like the Skool.com interface that we see here, how it's presented, and then the algorithms are what happens when I click here, what happens when I click new, what happens when I click post, what happens when how does it notify, what are the steps that Skool is doing to notify people. That's the algorithm. So you have the database, which in this case is the communities matched up, and then you have the interface, which in this case is the post interface. So if I go here, I rebuilt the post interface. So if I go to posts, now for each community, and this list right here is all the posts and all the communities that I'm working on, but you can see I've templated the start here, the introduce yourself post, and the book a call post, and here on the right, yeah, long story short, you can see that this is where I can create new posts, and then they'll auto go to the proper school. So I can actually, right now, these 3 posts, and I'll freeze this so that it moves up to that column. So these 3 posts are for the new community template, but I could actually set where those posts go, and it'll automatically add them in if they're not already there. So that's what I'm working towards. Still a little ways to get there, but working towards it. What's next? So the classroom, right? So if I go to classroom here, I rebuilt the structure of the classroom in Notion on the left in my Auto School system. And so here you can see that I've already imported, have I imported this one? So I haven't imported the classroom structure from preschool yet, but I have imported the classroom structure for Imagine OS, which is another school. So if I go over here and I go to Imagine OS, win the game, this is a school that is all about gamifying your life, really looking at the world like a role-playing game and how to connect to your imagination, especially as we can imagine in real time with AI. But even if AI and the internet and computers went out, how can we use our imagination and the programming of the world around us, with or without electronics, in order to level up and achieve our dreams and to imagine our way to the life of our dreams? It could be done on paper. It could be done with playing cards that you design yourself. It could be done like a role-playing game with workbooks and worksheets like Dungeons and Dragons, or it could be done like a video game using the latest AI and multiplayer game technology and so on. But you can see here on the left, this is sorted the way that it's sorted in Notion. But on the right here, you can see that I've got the structure linked up. And I also can go over here, sort it by things like page status. So what's not started, what's done, what's in progress, all kinds of cool stuff. You'll see more later. But I can literally go to any of my schools and open it up. So like Auto School, you can see that's a course. Inside of it, there's a Getting Started folder. Inside this Getting Started folder, here's some of the items. Here's the thumbnail that goes with every page or lesson, and so on. The status, is it done, is it not, is it published? So I can generate everything in Notion or in other tools and post to Notion, use Notion like the middleman, and bring that into Skool whenever I either press the publish button or whenever something triggers the need to sync it either from Skool to Notion, Notion to Skool, or other places and so on. It's going to get complex, but it'll just be this basic system that just automates the process in a beautiful way. And one thing that's really cool is I get to pick and choose, what do I want fully automated, and when do I want to set semi-automated, and when do I want something totally manual. For instance, Imagine OS is something I'm super passionate about, and it's coming from me direct. I'm writing the material. Maybe I use AI just a little bit. For the most part, it's coming directly from me and things that I've done. Whereas there's other schools where I just want to either pick a topic or say, hey, internet, tell me what the top performing schools are going to be, and then come up with names and come up with lesson plans and come up with content and so on, make it evergreen, invite people to the team and so on. And I want to be hands off. It can do that. And there's various levels of automation that we can go. Anyways, Imagine OS Skool, it's all about learning about Imagine OS, leveling up your health, leveling up your wealth, and leveling up your love life, your relationships, your family, your spouse, your ability to find a spouse, your children, just general family, love, friendships, relationships. How to become a winner in the game of life, and then how to customize your experience. So you'll see that I have various design aesthetics that you may or may not like. But how do we make it so that if you look at this page, it will automatically adjust to you? That's the question. How do we make it that if you look at Imagine OS, maybe there's one button click that swaps it out so that the graphics then match you instead of the style that I put in automatically. So there's some really interesting things we can do here with the power of AI and so on. So anyways, that's Imagine OS. I have lots of content already in here. Learn why you need an octopus. That's a fun one, right? So imagine a shape-shifting octopus. And the idea here is we're using metaphors a lot. And you'll see that I go pretty creative on my graphics, but that's to help create metaphors. The octopus is an example of an internet assistant, a secretary, a automator, someone that can get the technicals all over the place. And the shape-shifting aspect and the duplicatable aspect is you can make as many of these octopuses as you want. You can give them different roles, different personalities, different character traits, even turn them from an octopus into anything else you want. It's a really interesting way to visualize these different characters that can come together on the assembly line of bringing your schools to life, or really of generating this next generation of world building that we're doing. I don't know. The world's changing very, very fast. And life is a game that you can win. I've got a great video there that I had found online. You can, like I said, run it like a tabletop RPG. You can grow your talents. There's a joke about brainwashing. So instead of us brainwashing you, how about you wash your own brain? How about we recognize that we've been programmed with, however old you are, that's how long you've been programmed by the world around you, by the videos you watch, by the systems that you've been born into, and so on. Let's give ourselves a washing, right? Like, let's wash out our brains. Let's realize, okay, we're in this interesting world around us. Here we are. We know that there's constants, like we're born into a money system that's a point system based on dollars, but there's these other currencies and so on. We're born into bodies that have a calorie system and a proteins and a carbs and a fats-based system and has micronutrients and so on. we all have these constants in our lives that we can really adapt to in interesting ways. And the key now is to kind of wash and cleanse our minds in order to see things for how they are, and in order to set up the game and the way in which we want to play and level up moving forward. So let's see here. There was one other thing I was going to mention. I have stuff related to your health, to your wealth, to your love. Let's see here. I guess I'll have to come back to it later. Okay, let's go back to the classroom. One thing to mention as well, smart desks. So one of the things that we'll go over later is the ability to create your own custom technology and to order products like the smart desk so that you can get more done on bigger screens, on touch screens, more creative ways. And I have a whole set of products that I'm developing actively right now. You can plug in your existing Windows or Mac or Linux computer into it. You'll also have access to a 3D operating system, which I'm developing too, but that'll take some time to come out. Good little sneak preview. So let me zoom back out here, and let's see what else do I have going on. So that was the Imagine OS system. Let's go back to classroom. Yep, win the game, customize your experience, level up your love, level up your wealth. Okay, so another cool thing I've got here is a lot of services that I can provide. So for many years, I've been doing creative and marketing and operations style services for people, like a little mini agency where I build websites, I do logos, I help people with their business plan, set up e-commerce, I can build apps, I can help recruit team members, I can get you a sales strategy going, I can do your social ads, help you find the right legal help you find the right accounting help. All this stuff, you end up with a one-stop shop for business services. And so again, you can customize the look of this however you'd like. But here we've got Tiny Gnomes, which shout out to Key in tinygnomes.com, which is an incredible project management system. And I was so inspired that here's these little gnomes building you a business plan and building a project management system for you and delivering a brand kit and a pitch deck and delivering you a story brand inspired website, delivering your e-commerce. And notice the word deliver is used over and over, right? It's an action word. It's a verb. It is verb and subject. What are the gnomes doing? They're delivering. What are they delivering? Custom apps. It's different than they're making or creating, because delivering is like they're getting it to you. They're getting it out. They are fulfilling the order, and that is so important that the words we choose in programming with AI and so on, and these little language models, which I'll tell you about later, using words like deliver, it's getting it there. It's getting it there. I think that's really important. So here you can see delivering an automated call center, a social media calendar, an optimized advertising strategy. That one's pretty cute. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Next. You have your video editing and creation gnomes. You've got your podcasting kit. So these are all things that we can help deliver, whether it's actually AI Tiny Gnomes delivering or we're just using this metaphor. And again, if you're not into the gnome style, we can change that to a style that suits you. It could be a very professional, minimal, simple style. It could be a Pixar style. It could be a gnome style. It could be, wood textures and metal textures and leather textures, anything like that. But ultimately, what we're focused on today is delivering community experiences on autopilot and as needed with the help of a qualified team who can deliver each of the puzzle pieces it takes to build a successful community. And not just to build the courses and the community and set up the Skool platform, but to figure out how to generate the organic content, generate traffic, create ads, generate traffic, create retargeting to keep people coming back. All of these modern day things, well, if we solve it once for one school, why isn't it possible to solve it for all schools? And that's kind of the idea here is DDIT. Don't do it twice. Let's solve problems and go from there. All right. So I talked a little bit about the services that we can provide. We talked about kind of rebuilding Skool in Notion. I didn't go too deep, but you can see here like the calendar, right? You have some different templates, like a podcast event template, a Q&A event template, a co-working event template, and then we can tag the topics by what type of event is it, and we'll end up with a big list of different types of events, and then every time we launch a new school, we can choose which events do we want to autofill and set up and launch, and so on. Not every type of event is right for every school. Some schools may need them all. Some may only have one or two, whatever makes sense. But we're basically building these templates and then choosing in a very smart way what type of posts go into this school versus that school. What type of class structure goes into this one versus that one. What type of production are we doing? Are we doing 1,000 pieces of TikTok and Instagram shorts? Are we doing just a few? Are we doing none at all because it's not necessary, and so on. So the production studio is actually quite cool. Here you can see a video, for instance, using characters to speak and to present, so we can run a process.
Notion Depot needs a star community leader and influencer who is building the ultimate Notion community. We offer community, education, templates, and more. We teach Notion.
So, long story short, we can create these duplicatable scripts that with AI we can autofill those scripts utilizing each appropriate community and the style of each appropriate community and so on, and get AI influencers.
We provide co-working sessions.
And get AI influencers to basically be the host and create that content.
And teach Notion templates. We lead workshops, showcase other people.
Now this is an early example from Luen, and we can only imagine how much better this technology is about to get. But the fact that it was able to auto-generate the script, I gave it a quick little edit. It was able to grab a character that fit our style and generate us a video that we can then comment on, make better, and so on. Awesome. And the fact that we can make hundreds or thousands of pieces of content that all relate to the community, in this case, people who love Notion. Yeah, it's very exciting. So all of our sales videos, all of the value videos that we post online on social, anything we use internally, we can have these AI characters basically represent our companies. And we can generate all the different types of videos. Are there? How many different types of 5-second videos are there? How many types of 20-second videos are there? How many 1-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute videos are there? And what are the commonalities that all the different schools need? And how do we auto-create that type of content but fill it with accurate, wonderful data? So, and then auto-post to the appropriate channels and reconfigure videos, such as a 5-minute video can be chopped up into many shorts as needed, and so on. It's wild. But this system will be able to do everything from the scripting to autofilling to requesting approvals to getting it double checked to getting the video part done to getting it created, and oh, it's awesome. What else do we have here? We have funnels, we have pipeline, we have traffic generating techniques here. Deliverables is really cool. So every time we launch a new school, you have a list of steps that need to happen. Again, you have the verbs, right? So in this case, the tags, right, are like, is it a setup? Is it a design? Is it a recruiting verb? And so on. So let's go ahead and make this bigger. And I'll generate images to make this better, but you have a planning phase where we autofill the plan for each new school we want to launch. We set up customer profiles. We do company maps. We can design the prompting kit so that AI knows what style to use and more about the company and so on, or about the school. Design the presentation kit, design the brand kit, design the standard characters, design the website, design the standard funnels and pipelines, design the, take the content from the course and turn it into a book and post it on Amazon for sale, as an example, with audiobook version. What else do we have? Recruiting team members and getting them onboarding. So let's say I'll add onboarding team members. Scraping directories from the internet, connecting accounts and automations, connecting the bank accounts, creating the school trial, setting up the Go High Level snapshot, setting up social media accounts, setting up a corporate structure if and when needed, setting up the financial model so we can track the money in a real useful way, setting up domains and emails, setting up ad accounts, doing all the promotion steps, which have their own sets of stages, and then creating things like all the blog posts for your school, all your videos for your school, all your social posts, all your courses and lessons, all your events, all your email copy, all your AI trainings. I'm running out of breath. All your school posts and so on. All right, so lots of deliverables to put together, you can see how maddening it is as an entrepreneur to think, oh my gosh, I want to launch lots of companies. How much money is it going to cost for me to hire people to do all these steps? How much work am I going to have to manually do to click and point and learn an app and click and point and switch and do da 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 da, right? It drives me nuts. But now, for like the first time, I feel the sense of empowerment with the help of AI, and with the help of these monetization strategies. I really feel confident now that the speed at which I can, for instance, fill in all the graphics on this page, and the quality that it comes out at. And even though there's still little mistakes now, I know that in 6 months or a year, it's going to be basically perfect. And yeah, there's a great opportunity right now. So each one of these links to a different set of tools, a different set of processes. And what's nice is because this is all set up as a relational database in Notion, I can really build this to automate and to connect to outside apps so that when I add a new community, it automatically does a series of steps and then it requests my approval or someone else's approval when needed. That it autofills posts based on different posting formulas. It autofills a classroom based on different course structures, gives us options as needed, or just chooses the best course structure, then fills in the lesson plan, then fills in the content, and curates content from all over, and so on. There's so many cool things going on. And yeah, so let's see here. I'm going to switch tools. I'm going to go into Miro now, and let's zoom out here. You can see that we did all kinds of work with Notion Depot in particular to really map out how community-based businesses run, what you can offer at launch, how the monetization ladder works, here's a list of items you can offer at launch for that type of business. We've done different examples of assets that we can create. And again, this is the type of thing that, we create once, right? So here's your branding and asset kit. You have your GDPR compliance, your terms and conditions, your privacy policy, your ADA compliance, your contact us page, your about the team page, meet the team, offer amounts. I have some pages that need to be filled in for standard looking tool directory, influencer directory, roadmap, affiliates. Then we have our agency page, the affiliate page, in this case to Notion, the academy page, the template gallery page, join our community, in this case it was Circle, now it's going to be Skool, our home page, and thank you page, and checkout page, and affiliate page, and lead magnet page, right? These are all things that we can actually auto-generate, because again, the DDIT, don't do it twice. Once we build these things once, then we're good to go. But thankfully, there's all these incredible entrepreneurs on the internet and internet marketers on the internet who literally sell the tools that it takes to launch your own stuff. So like, for instance, this sales page is based on Evelyn Weiss's system, her mini membership method. And so that gave us the template that we were able to use. And with private label rights, we have the right to reuse it and resell it in a really interesting way. So generating copy, a lot of this copy was generated manually, and it cost us $15 an hour, which was a very reasonable price. It should have been probably more per hour. But guess what? Now all of this content can be generated really, really well with AI in a way that even humans couldn't necessarily write that well. What's cool now, too, though, is that we can have people in the mix. We can have AI do it all. We can find the sweet spot on all that, and we can have things double-checked and so on. Study hall access. Here's access to all our templates, the template page, questionnaire stuff. I mean, just so much stuff. And so basically that was our assets. Here you can see a variety of different funnel maps that we've designed and methods that we're now testing for traffic and optimization, different strategies. You can see that I'm real quick to draw, real quick to diagram. I can pull in outside screenshots as necessary. This Miro tool is really wonderful for mapping things out and really like an infinite whiteboard. Here we get into the concept of building turnkey communities. So you can see here that basically the goal is to build turnkey snapshots for communities fast, right? We want to rapidly generate free traffic and launch online communities, again, fast. Notion Depot is a case study and one that we've been working at for quite a while, but as soon as we really get it going and on, I'm sure it's going to go great. And here you can see different methods of traffic, different strategies for driving traffic through content on social media, through listing on different marketplaces, to having a Facebook and ManyChat or comment to DM bot, ads, Upwork, and then having different lead magnets that we can identify, such as co-working time, such as live events that we can invite people to, such as giving away free templates, free course content, free access to the free community, so much stuff, links to affiliate offers, and so on. And then here we get into the administrative side where, we have to basically figure out how do we get free community members, how do we get paid community members, how do we get people who are promoting us as affiliates, how do we get agency customers, how do we then recruit teachers and creators who can create content for us, so it's not all dependent on me, right? Fill the calendar. How do we get them taught and onboarded on how to show up on time, what tool to use, how to get access, how to communicate with their students, all that stuff. There's a lot of steps that go into just administering and teaching people how to navigate the system. Operations, so that's where we have an automated onboarding sequence for inviting new new administrators and new team members. We have, what else? Recruiting assistants. We have getting designers on board. Thankfully, AI can do a lot of the design work now. Get Notion template makers in this particular case. But yeah, anyways, you can just kind of see that we're building this turnkey system that's really holistic in the idea of how do we run the whole community and get all the bases covered, including operations, including content creation, including customer acquisition and traffic generation. Here I have a map of all the different high-level snapshots I'm planning and working on. I don't want to get too in the weeds. I've got a funnel for a car project. And here are a few different ways to monetize Skool that I've been researching. So for instance, one way is to have a $1,000 a month Skool mastermind. And one easy way to fill all 10 slots on the Skool games as winners would be just to have 10 schools with 100 customers at $1,000 each. That's $100,000 MRR. Chances are that'll win next month's Skool game if we were able to do that. So just if I could do this 10 times in a row, then that would reach the goal. But there's other things we can do as well. So basically, the idea here is a $1,000 Skool mastermind for people who are actively investing in their Skool communities. So this is for people who are spending money to build and grow their schools. The first milestone was 10 members at $10,000 a month, or 10 members at $1,000 a month equals $10,000 a month monthly recurring revenue. And what we really want is 100 members. So I'm just going to change that to big milestone. Now you have the lead magnet, you have a hook, you have a catch sequence, you have booking a call, you have going from that great, wonderful call where you gave them a lot of value to asking them to join the $1,000 a month Skool. One out of every certain number of people we talk to are going to end up doing it. So now we've got people joining our $1,000 a month Skool, and then they can book follow-up calls with us where we can sell them other services and upgrade them. We also can give them access to different SaaS tools and affiliate offers where we make income as well. So that would be an example of generating income around a community of people who are dedicated to spending money on Skool, and we can learn from each other. Here's another different plan that I put together recently, which was about how to curate content from influencers and content creators. So what I realized personally was I'm a little bit concerned about the quality of AI to generate lessons automatically. So how can I get past that bottleneck? Well, what if instead of me asking AI to generate all the content, instead of me having to pay people to generate all the content or do it all one by one myself, what if I could find influencers, content creators, people who already have tons of content, love creating content, don't have a problem creating content, and have a big community already on like YouTube and other places? Why don't I just help curate their content into a Skool and gift it to them? And so this funnel, I won't go too in depth right now, but this method goes from pulling a list of target content creators to pulling in their content into our system to filling Skool with their stuff, and then getting their attention and getting a yes or no from them or their managers. And then these are the different ways in which they could work with us, whether they just take over the school and maybe we get our Skool affiliate fee. They ask us to shut it down. Maybe they pay for some services. Maybe they do a rev split. Maybe they do a rev split and give us a budget. Who knows? And this is really, I'm paraphrasing Alex Ramosi, but he really had mentioned the idea of, if you want to get the attention of someone you really want to work with, maybe it's an influencer, maybe it's someone famous, if you do a bunch of work for them up front, create a bunch of value and get it in front of them, if it's really that good, they're probably not going to say no to taking it. So what we want to do is auto-create schools from wonderful people's content, curate their content, get it in order, have AI kind of learn from it, make some posts, do some things, upgrade it, whatever, who knows. But pull that in and deliver them a gift of a school with the 14-day trial, like counting down. So it's got that countdown. And all they really got to do is just swap out their credit card for mine and they can take it over. And then they either want to work with us or not. So kind of cool. Here was an example. So my friend Jeremiah made an intro to John. Jeremiah sent me John's 3 books that he wrote that are in Word. And with the help of AI, I was able to ask AI what type of AI prompts to use. It generated this style. It generated a wonderful about description. It generated the graphics for the Q&As that are recurring and the workshops that are recurring. And then I was able to create, for the first time, I created a funnel page. So I was able to create a custom page for John with the video of me generating his school with the help of AI. He can click the link to get to the school that I built for him. In the future, if it's not for John, let's say it's for Alex Ramosi, let's say it's for another social media influencer, it's Tony Robbins, it's whoever, right? Hi Tony, I just built you a brand new school for your school name. We'd love to work with you to take it even further. Here's a video that we auto-generate. It could be me speaking to the camera. It could be auto-generated and just show that the process of working with their stuff. And that's all automatable if we want it to be. Or it could be totally just one-on-one, heartfelt, custom, or some mixture of the two. And then here he can fill in some information and turn that into survey, book an appointment. But if he just checks out the school, it's got a 14-day trial right now. He can swap out the credit card, take it over or whatever. And I even wrote out the intro email. So this will all become a more detailed sequence. But you can see that I'm really already testing these things and putting it to work. Here you can see my friend Jeremiah sent me another referral. So he gave me a call, said, hey, Justin, I'm going to refer you to this person. He sent me a text message with that person's phone number and their name. I gave that person a call. He knew who I was because Jeremiah mentioned that I was going to call, answered the phone, told me about his current educational program. We got to chit-chat, get to know each other a little bit. I told him about Skool. He thought it sounded cool. And through SMS and chatting, he's introducing me to his team for a team call. We got LinkedIn connected. And my next step with him is to jump on a screen share with him and his team and discuss next steps and invite them to maybe the $1,000 a month mastermind as a beginning way, or whatever makes sense in order to create a relationship there. I can figure that out from the appointment. And soon we'll productize that and get it all good. But you can see here too, and just working with me, you'll learn I can plan these things out quick and then put them into action. So here's a wireframe of a website, and that website came to life as a funnel here. I mean, it really is that quick and simple. It's just a beautiful time to be alive and working and building schools. And I'm so excited to help educate and to jump into the school games and to see if we can just do something that no one's ever done before. Break the internet, break school, but not break it in a bad way, break in, let's make this great. Let's crack the code. And it's one thing to crack the code on generating all the content and auto posting and making it really fast to set up a new school and fill in the graphics and the thumbnails and set up the events and get the team on board and blah, blah, blah. It's another thing to figure out how to automate the promotion and the organic content dripping and to get the website and the sales and the branding and all that. And the fact that we've got the planning figured out, we've got the traffic coming together now, the systems to generate traffic and social calendaring and all that stuff, and drive leads to the funnel aspect and drive from the funnel aspect into the school pages and through the monetization strategies and so on, and hopefully help build people a whole lot of money, whether it's building a lot of recurring income for us, for me, making life better so that I can reinvest it in the 3D operating system and the computer company and making the world a better place. Making money for other people like influencers who have been inspiring and wonderful and so on, that literally we can press a button, import all their stuff, and help them to organize it into a way that they can turn into a monetized community so that they have more budgets to do more wonderful things. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and I have a feeling that maybe some of the schools that I set up will go well. Some of the schools that AI sets up, who knows what it'll do. But best of all, being able to partner with people, and even someone like Alex Hormozi, I actually think he could be, one of the top ones here, because I'm following his advice. I'm going to have this system basically go through, curate Alex's content from YouTube and so on, turn it into the Hormozi School on Skool.com, and then say, hey, here's a gift. Feel free to take it over, and it's all yours. If you don't want it, no worries. We shut it down. No problem. We're not trying to take anyone's content, but, I followed your strategy. You're the guy who I wanted to, start with. And here is my gift of a school for the investor of schools. And you can now, save all this time that it would have taken him to fill in a school. It's all going to be there. And then we can make changes and edit and customize as appropriate. And that's true of Alex Hormozi. That's true of Tony Robbins. That's true of name any influencer you want, your favorite workout influencer, your favorite diet influencer, your favorite wealth influencers, your favorite makeup influencer, your favorite, anyone who has an online community on YouTube or wherever, being able to pull in their stuff, generate a school, gift it to them, find their manager, get a way to get it in front of them, and they can take it over. And they either say no or they say yes. We get a $40 a month affiliate commission. If they say yes and want to do a recurring split or whatever, that's amazing. If they just want to hire us, that's amazing too. So many options. We have options. As I've been doing my research, there's so many ways to monetize Skool. It's funny, my computer's going into dark mode because it's 8:30 at night. I don't know. There's just so much wonderful stuff going on. So if I come back here to Skool, right now we're back in Imagine OS. We've got the preschool, win the school games. I've got Imagine OS, which is how to gamify your life. That's what I'm doing now. So if I go here to the About, you can see Imagine OS, Health, Wealth, and Love Islands. I want to build the #1 school game on Skool. We can map businesses. We can do corporate setups. I taught you the importance of having an octopus. And you're going to learn things through different aspects, like the health class on like what were the benefits of Ozempic, but how do you get those benefits without having to take a shot all the time, right? These are the types of things that we can teach that can really help people a lot. All kinds of different wonderful classes and strategies and tips and tricks, how to learn the game of nutrition, how do calories, macros, and micros work. And you can see that I'm generating all these really fun graphics. And those graphics are going to get better and better and better. And I'm linking to interactive tools. And when necessarily, I'm putting in affiliate links to things that are great. How to calculate. Oh, there's just so much stuff. Weight loss, body composition, flexibility, understanding the placebo effect. There's so much cool stuff here. And that's just one of the schools that I set up. Here's Notion Depot. And this is the new Notion Depot. You can see that we have a start here, building Auto School, so I'm sharing that in the Notion Depot, how I built Auto School in Notion. We have a private team training. If I click here, nothing there yet, but if I go here, I actually had started previously coming up with ideas for our Notion Depot system. So I ran out of the 14-day trial on this one, so we let it expire, and we're taking a new approach to the graphics on version 2. But this was version 1 of Notion Depot on Skool. or actually this is probably version 2 and the other one's version 3. This was an example of about 45 minutes of work where I took 3 books in Word document format and plugged those in with AI, got my style generated, got my thumbnails made, got my description started. It gave me recommendations on the course structure. So we have a start here with an intro, advanced skills, and mastery of skills, and even starting to fill in lessons. I have not put the sample posts in or the beginning post yet. You can see that this will link to a book an appointment, which will run off of an automated marketing automation template, and so on. So you can see I'm really building a system with the idea of launching as many of these notebooks as I want, and these notebooks are interactive notebooks that can bring so much value and community to the world and to people and so on. And every time it's a great opportunity to offer free value, to offer paid value, and to help make people's lives better in a variety of ways. So yes, we're kind of cracking the code on how to make money on the internet, how to utilize this next-gen Skool platform. Every once in a while there's a tool, like when Instagram first came out, like when YouTube first came out, like when Google search first came out, and people who were first to the show, and kind of figured out the formula and how to crack the code, ended up building big audiences and so on. And it seems that Skool.com is one of those. I think Alex Hormozy mentioned that 1 out of every 2 people who create a community on Skool end up making money, I think in the first month or something like that, like something crazy. So it is a tool that is making people's lives better, that is giving them income in exchange for teaching lessons and skills and wonderful things that make the world a better place. So happy to be participating in the Skool Games. I'm super excited about the idea of let's win, right? Let's see what we can do to win the Skool Games. So thank you for watching. You can find me on Skool. Type in Justin Massian, I suppose. Type in ImagineOS. Type in preschool. Type in whatever. I don't know. This is so new, and it's all coming together. But thank you for watching. I'm going to post this on YouTube, and have a beautiful day or night or whatever time it is. Much love.